We're back in the barn. I'm gonna get a few things done today. We're looking at hopefully finishing off this wall, and then down on the end, I've got a space down there that we want to install a door. So I've never made any kind of barn door or gate door, which is what we're gonna try to do today. So we'll hopefully take you guys through that. If you ever have any ambition of putting in a gate or a barn door or something like that, you can take a look at how this is done, and hopefully it helps out. So those are the two goals today. We'll see what else we get to after that. Wall is finished, quote unquote finished. There's still some gaps in there that I'm gonna fill in the back so that not as much wind comes through, and then eventually spray foam the back side of that to just kind of insulate it a little bit. Right now, I've still got this opening over here on the side that we're gonna try to build a door. So I'm basically gonna use a model I got off of a website that is for building a standard gate door that you would have like on outside, like if you're gonna put a gate through a fence. So we're gonna use that model. I've got tongue and groove board that I pulled out of my house that's super old stuff, but still really good wood. So we're gonna try to use that basically to recycle it and build this door with. So we'll see what happens. We got our boards cut. We are not quite at the right width. So that's part of, you know, pulling boards out of the old house and using them. They're all a little bit different diameter. So we're trying to get right around 3 feet 11 inches wide, and we can't quite do it. So the one option was to cut straight down the middle of one of the tongue and groove boards that we pulled from the pile over there, but that's not going to work either because this piece on this side is super wavy. It's just an old board. So what we're going to do is take one of the framing boards that Pat used to frame up this wall, which is sitting on the floor over there. And we are going to just tack that right onto the edge of here and get a nice flush surface so that we know the exact distance that we're gonna have to go sideways. So we don't have to kind of, not just guess, but there might be like a crack up top, a crack on the bottom, a crack further down, and it might be too wide in some spots just because of the waviness of that post. So we're gonna put that up there, get our measurement, and then work on getting these boards, or getting this door exactly as wide as we need it. I made a small mistake on measuring. There's actually 2 concrete lips over where we need to put the door in, and I measured from the taller one, so everything's just a little bit tall right now, or I measured from the shorter one, so everything's a little bit tall right now. So we're basically trying to take another inch off the top, just so that it fits flush underneath that main head beam. And we also had to do some trimming on our braces on the other side. We took them all the way across the length of the door. I forgot you want to leave a little bit of room on either side so that the door fits flush against each edge that you're mounting it on, and the door latch will then fit perfectly or slide in right when you actually mount the door. So we're going to take the top off of this, maybe take a little more off the edges, then we'll mount the door and be done. Done with the door. So really happy with how it looks. Definitely had to do a couple janky modifications just because things aren't 100% square in here. So we have this joist that was kind of in the way up top here with everything closing. So with this joist, we actually had to cut out this notch up here in the door to make sure things would fit. Could have cut the joist out, but the fact that this part of the loft is sitting on it, there's a lot of other things supporting it, but why cut it out and cut out something that's like a support? It's just, it seems like a dumb idea. Just cut the notch out of the door. Had to mount another 2x4 on here to mount the actual latch, just so the spacing would be about right. And then down here at the bottom, this one piece on the inside, very inside of the door, narrowed as it went down, so there was a little bit of a gap, and just buckled a piece on to kind of fill that gap on the inside so that when the door is actually closed, everything looks flush through the center. You can't see as many cracks. So 2 more things that need to happen that aren't that big of a deal. One, I'm going to hang a little header to kind of close up that gap over there, or bring down a small piece to kind of match flush so there's not as much of a gap up top. And then just put like a sandbag or something down here at the bottom, something that's long, and it'll just stop the flow of air a little bit. The door doesn't have to push open, so it won't get in the way. Overall, super stoked. I mean, I only had the cost of the wood 2x4s. This was about 30 bucks for the door kit there, or the gate kit. And all this stuff, like I said, was old hardwood flooring that was in my house that was ripped up on another project, so didn't have to buy that. But super stoked with how it looks. Got the wall all finished in terms of the exterior. On the other side, obviously some holes that we have to button up, but probably won't worry about that until the fall because weather's starting to warm up. So yeah, in terms of what's next, I don't know. I think just clean up and get the equipment in here. But hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, on the back side, I don't know if we really went over this. On the back side, to hold everything together, we just put a couple boards and some ribs in. Didn't really have a straight edge or an angle or anything like that to do it, so I mean it doesn't look really great. It's not bad for just eyeballing. And then the mistake that we actually kept making, or I actually kept making, is I kept trying to put the joists on the inside here, or the joints on the inside, and then obviously it wouldn't open correctly, so that was just a dumb move on my part that took a little bit longer. So fixed that, bolted it up, and everything fits nicely. So super stoked about this. One more thing down in the barn.